Hello student, today we will discuss about IP protocol. I Aditi Prohit, Assistant Professor in CSE Department from Sagar Institute of Research and Technology, Bhopal. So let's discuss about IP protocol. IP stands for Internet Protocol. It is one of the main protocol in TCP/IP protocol stack. Basically, IP protocol is responsible for host-to-host communication. For data communication in host-to-host, IP protocol uses IP address, and it is connectionless and unreliable protocol. It is connectionless in the sense that no state related to IP datagram is maintained, either source or destination side, or we can say that it is unreliable because it does not guarantee that IP datagram will be delivered to the destination or not. These are the objectives of today's lecture: to explain the general idea behind IP protocol and position of IP in TCP/IP protocol suite, to show the general format of IPv4 datagram, to discuss about fragmentation and reassembly of datagram, and last, to discuss several options that can be in IPv4 datagram and their applications. As I already told, IP stands for Internet Protocol. It is a protocol of TCP/IP protocol suite. It is connectionless and unreliable protocol. By the means of connectionless, in a sense that no state related to the IP datagram is maintained, either on source or destination side, or we can say that it is an unreliable because it does not guarantee that a IP datagram will be delivered to the destination or not. If an IP datagram encounters some error at the destination or at the intermediate host, then the IP datagram is generally discarded and sent an ICMP message to the source. This is the position of IP protocol in TCP/IP protocol suite. Basically, in TCP/IP protocol suite, there are five layers are there: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, and transport layer. I already discussed in the previous lecture. The application layer sends the data to the transport layer. Transport layer put it header in the beginning and send this complete packet to the IP layer. On the same line, IP layer put its header in front of the data received from TCP. So now the structure of IP datagram becomes IP header, TCP header, and appropriate data. This IP datagram is passed to the Ethernet layer, which has the same line, adds its own header to IP datagram. Then whole packet is transmitted over the network. On the destination host, the reverse process happens. This means that each layer has its own header in the packet and then strips the header so that finally application receives the app's data. The packet in IP datagram are called the packets in network layer are called IP datagram. Basically, datagram is nothing. It is a variable length packet consisting of two parts, header and data. The size of header is 20 to 60 byte, and it contains essential information for routing and delivery purposes. These are the brief description of IP datagram. The size of IP datagram is 20 to 60 byte, as I already told. If there is no options are added, then size of datagram is 20 byte, and if any options are there, so then we can add up to 60 byte options through IP datagram. And the maximum size of data which can be sended over the network is up to 65535 bytes. This is the detailed diagram of IP header. In the detailed diagram, first field is version field. This field is also known as protocol version. It is the first field in the protocol header, and this field occupies 4 bits. This signifies the current protocol version being used. Most common version of IP protocol being used is version 4, while version 6 out in the market and fast gaining popularity. Then comes header length. This field provides the length of IP header. The length of IP header is represented in 32-bit words. This length also includes IP options if there is any. Since this field is of 4 bits, so that maximum header length is allowed is 60 bytes, and when there is no options are present, then value of this field is 5. Here 5 means 32-bit word. Then comes service type, or we can say that type of service field. The first 3 bit of these field are known as precedence bit and ignored as of today, and next 4 bit represents the type of services, and last bit is unused. These 4 bits are represented as type of services like minimum delay, maximize throughput, maximize reliability, and minimize monetary cost. Then comes 16-bit total length field. This field represents the total IP datagram length in bytes. Since the header length gives the length of header, and this field gives total length, so that the length of data and its starting point can be easily calculated by using these fields. Since this is a 16-bit field, it represents the length of IP datagram, so that maximum size of IP datagram can be 65535 bytes. When IP fragmentation takes place over the network, then the value of field also changes. There are the cases when IP datagram are small in length, but some data link like Ethernet and small frames to be minimum length is 46 bytes. So that exact length of IP header in this case will be the particular IP datagram field. Next, identification, flag bit and fragment offset field. These 3 fields are used for fragmentation. Basically, identification is of 16-bit field. This field is used for uniquely identifying the IP datagram. This value is incremented every time an IP datagram is sent from source to destination. This field comes in handy when reassembly of fragmented IP datagram takes place. Then comes flag bit field. These flag bit are 3 bit in size. The flag bit comprises of 3 bits, while the first bit is kept reserved as of now. The next 2 bits have their own importance. The second bits represent do not fragment bit. When this bit is set, then IP datagram is never fragmented. Rather, it is thrown if requirement for fragment. And if third bit, more fragment bit is set, then it represents fragmented IP datagram has more fragments after it. In case of last fragment of IP datagram, this bit is not set, signifying that this is the last fragment of particular IP datagram. Then comes fragment offset field. This is a 13-bit field. In the case of fragment IP datagram, this field contains the offset from the start of IP datagram. So again, this field is used in reassembly of fragmented IP datagram. Then comes TTL field. TTL stands for time to live field. It is basically of 8-bit field. which represents number of hops, or we can say that number of routers that the IP datagram will go through before being discarded. The value of this field in the beginning is said to be around 32 or 64, but at every hop over the network, this field is decremented by 1. When this field becomes 0, the datagram is discarded. So we see that this field literally means the effective lifetime of datagram on the network. Then comes protocol field. This field is 8-bit in length, which represents the transport layer protocol handed over the data to IP layer. This field comes in handy when the data is demultiplexed at the destination, as in that case IP would need to know which protocol to hand over the data. Then comes checksum field. It is a 16-bit field which represents a value that is calculated using an algorithm covering all the fields in the header. This value is calculated and stored in a header when IP datagram is sent from source to destination. And at the destination side, the checksum is again calculated and verified against the checksum present in the header. If the value is same, then the datagram was not corrupted, else it is assumed that datagram was received corrected. So this field is used to check the integrity of IP datagram. Then comes source and destination. Each field is of 32-bit. These field stores the source and destination address respectively. Since the size of these field is 32-bit, so an IP address maximum length of 32-bit can be used. So that we see that limits of IP address that can be used. To counter this problem, IPv4 has been introduced, which increases the capacity. Then comes option field and variable field. This field represents the list of options that are active for a particular datagram. This is an optional field and could be present if any options is present in the header, then first byte is represented as the option. There are so many options are there, like first bit option and multi byte option. First byte option are end of no option or no operation. Multi byte options are also there, like stick source root option, lose source root option, record root option, and timestamp option. Then comes data. This field contains the data from the protocol layer that has handed over the data to IP layer. Generally, this field contains the header and data of the transport layer. Be careful that each TCP/IP layer protocol attach its own header at the beginning of data it receives from other layer. In case of the source host and in case of the destination host, each protocol strips its own header and sends the rest to the data of the next layer. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. That's it for today. Next, from tomorrow, we are coming to the different lecture. Thank you so much.